Hello, and welcome to The Agent is In, episode 56. My name is Craig Comstock. I'm a software engineer, aka Digger, at CFEngine. And I have with me here some other friends, namely Nick Anderson. Would you like to announce yourself?
Hi, I'm Nick, doer of things.
Great. And Cody, you're here also.
I am here. Good to see
Okay,
everybody.
cool. And we're joined by some friends and whatnot. And today, I'm going to show off, if I can manage my windows, I'm going to show off this custom promise type for Ansible modules with a CFEngine policy. So yeah, I had made a blog previously about the Ansible type, custom promise type Ansible, where I did some patching. So in other words, we're using an Ansible module, this YAML file, to patch all the things to the latest and set up some roles for doing that. And then magically, we do it in, where's the thing? Here we go. Ansible promise type. So that's cool. And you might say, well, why would you do this? Well, maybe you have a bunch of Ansible policy that you want to reuse. Maybe you want to use CFEngine for what it's good at, which is the pull of policy instead of pushing it from a central location. And today we thought we would show one instance where that would be particularly useful, which is, what if you turn off SSH? Now, I know that Ansible pull is a thing that you can use. Ansible pull, some documentation about it. But, you know, we like to think that Ansible and CFEngine are complementary tools, so let's do this. So yeah, I had that previous setup, and I basically just took it and modified it slightly. Some of the things we need to do are installing Ansible. Last time I used Debian, this time I used Red Hat. I'm using Rocky 10 for the client, so the package name is a little different. Okay. So let's appease the demo gods, not demi-gods, but the demo gods, and see if we can get this to work. I'm just going to be kind of dumb and install. Oh yeah, go ahead, ask questions. What's that?
What hosts do we have here? Like, what's the environment now? So I
Okay.
I know we have Red Hat hosts and Debian
Yeah,
hosts.
I'll show you the environment. So the environment is, I've got the hub running on a ARM 64 board in a Docker container. So Ubuntu 24 is the host, is the hub. And then I've got a Rocky 10 client that I've been working on previously. And I also have a Rocky 10 that I just installed that I was going to walk through this process with.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. And I've got, it'll be in the show notes, but we've got this Play CFBS repository on the CFEngine organization on GitHub. And I've got this kind of work in progress here, which is Ansible Firewall D Lockdown. So this is the modified CFBS project. Why don't we start with, I'll walk through this project, and if anybody has any questions, especially you, Nick, and
yeah,
let's see what's going on here. So yeah, so CFBS project has a CFBS JSON file that collects together all the various things. So I've got master files. I've got a promise types in Python library, which supports the promise type Ansible. I've got an Ansible project that gets pulled in. I've got some stuff to set up notice the port number here, 8024. Mm-hmm. So I've got something to set up the port for that with augments, client initiated reporting, and I had to fix some bugs. So I had an overlay where I was overlaying the master files, which is kind of a bespoke kind of thing that you can do. So for example, like the hub port, it's pretty simple. HTTPS port is 8024, and that reconfigures some templates for various things that need to know the port. The demo is our standard kind of demo stuff with which opens things up. You can do that with CF Remote -- demo when you bootstrap or when you install. And then the Ansible project. So we've got our policy, which does some things. Most importantly, it runs the Ansible playbook, which is site.yaml. Site.yaml has these hosts that we're going to look at. We have hosts that are in lockdown, and then we give it a role of lockdown. If they're not in lockdown, this expression here checks to see if they're not in lockdown, and then we give it a role of not lockdown. In the roles, we have lockdown has a service. So there's a firewall D Ansible module that we can use, and we enable the SSH service. In the not lockdown, guess what? We enable it. Sorry, did I say
enable?
Disable over there, enable over here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the difference. Now there are definitely like best practices, and Ansible might tell you to set variables at some level and then use that in a single role. But I found that not quite, I don't know, it just didn't seem to work for me. And I'm not an Ansible expert, so I think that this way is fine. It works well, and it reads nicely to me. Okay, so this is what we've got here. Let's walk through the policy. Okay, so the goal. What's the goal? The goal is to be able to go to the mission portal and lock down or not lock down the host. So I've navigated to the host info page for my host. I've got a class, and I've got a class here, and I can say lockdown would turn SSH off. Anything else will, or the lack of the presence of lockdown will turn it back on. So like if just by default, any host that comes up will have SSH enabled. Yeah. What'd you say, Nick?
I said, yeah, it'll allow it. Allow SSH, yeah.
Right. So just as a demo of things working, and actually this morning I was kind of freaking out because I thought my demo host wasn't working right, because I did Vagrant SSH, or I did Vagrant up, and it wasn't working. And it's because I had locked it down. Yeah, it's left over. So that was fun. So I wonder, can I say a command here?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Okay, I don't know how to do that. That's fine.
I think it's Dev C.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would be the canonical way of doing such things. Okay, right. So, so if we, yeah. So anyway, so that's like that. And then if I come down here and say lockdown, then in about 5 minutes or less, it'll be locked down. So
is there only one host running here?
What's that?
Just
okay. So I'm going to come over here to another place here at 10.42.0.117. Okay, so this is from a different host. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to watch it, and then I'm going to come over here and just move things along faster. So I'm going to do an update. It got the new data, and then I'm going to do this, and then it should lock down here in a moment. So it's running the Ansible playbook. Successfully changed, and now it's unreachable. Perfect. There it is. Okay, so that shows that it does indeed work. That's good. And let's go back to, so that's here. And then if I change it back to not lockdown or whatever, doesn't matter what it is. Mm-hmm. And I can do an update again. I'm just going to do Ansible main, I think is the name of the bundle. Yeah. And we're back. So it works.
Cool.
That's cool. So let's see how it works a little bit. So we've got the Ansible playbook is here, and the thing that's going to drive which role the host is in is going to be through the inventory. So on the host, we have this inventory, and you can see that we're managing the inventory as a local host because we're just connecting only locally. So in other words, we're kind of turning the Ansible mechanism kind of backwards, right? So instead of running it from someplace to someplace via SSH, we're just running it locally. And that way, once you have the policy there, then it doesn't matter if you can't get to the policy server or the hub, you'll still have the policy. You'll still be able to run the Ansible playbooks because it's all on the host. So here we have localhost is in this role and this role as well. The managed role is just everybody. And then if I change it to lockdown, it'll be in that lockdown role. And then as we saw before, the Ansible policy will take care of operating the various ways there. One little interesting thing that I needed to do with this is when you use the host info page here, the host specific data, the classes by default will be in a namespace called data. So I had to do a little bit of munging of the classes in order to get the values that I expect, which is just lockdown instead of data lockdown. And you can see here, there might be a host, localhost will be in lockdown.
Can you scroll back to that policy again?
Yes, the policy. Or you want the full policy, this stuff?
Yeah, that works. I was just reading
cool.
Your string replace thing is what I was just
oh,
reading.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you find all the classes that match.
Okay, right. So this is, yeah, so I did.
Name anything tagged with Ansible role.
Yes, so the tag, right?
And then you iterate over those classes and build a associative array where you're stripping the data off the front. Cool.
Yeah. And then I just use that.
Normalized ones. I see. And then top iterating over
the data, which is Ansible roles.
Where's the data? Ansible roles. Right. Okay. There it is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Get values, Ansible roles. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're iterating over the top level array and then, or the top container.
Yeah.
And then, and for each element in that array, right?
Yeah. Then I put this out, which has got square brackets around the item, which is essentially just the Ansible roles classes.
One thing. Oh, it doesn't matter here.
Yep.
I was thinking triple curly to avoid HTML escapes, but since what you're doing here is class, you're munging class names, you won't have HTML escapes in it. So
right.
Cool.
Yep. And that is that. Pretty spiffy.
Yeah. wait a second. Let's go back to that template.
The template.
Yeah.
Okay. This template.
Ansible roles. Bars, Ansible connections. Okay. And then, oh, and then a data container. Got it. All right. Thanks.
Yep.
All right. It just took me a second to parse it.
So the result is this, which is each class that's tagged with Ansible roles gets a section here, and it collects localhost into that inventory. And then we map that with Ansible out to the various roles here. So hosts locked down gets the role locked down. Hosts not locked down gets not locked down. This was a bit of a trick, actually, because I like I said, I'm not an Ansible expert, but I expected to be able to just say not locked down, but apparently that's not syntax. So I had to say all, and then the colon apparently is and of some sort.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Are there any other questions you want to go on record with?
I don't have any other questions about that, I don't think.
Cool.
I mean, we were talking a little bit, like there was some stuff in here, like where did the firewall Ansible playbook come from? Did that come from the Galaxy modules?
Yes, that is one piece that I've not managed directly yet. So Galaxy, Ansible, Galaxy. If I do a list, I will see that I've. Where's that? Oh, that's interesting. Did I do it wrong? But yeah, there is one. And oh, it's a collection list. Okay, so a collection. This Ansible POSIX is where I get the firewall D from.
Okay.
And so that's an extra thing that doesn't come by default with the Ansible packages.
So you install Galaxy collection, and then you use Ansible Galaxy to manage the collections that are installed. So there's opportunity here for a custom, or not a custom promise type, but a package module.
Package module, yes, right. Yeah, so you probably do like a download, and then you could do a. I figured out you can do. You can include the name of the thing you're thinking about, and then you can maybe grep it for that. And if it's there, then it's installed. If it's not, then you install it. So typical strategy for CFEngine. Promise kept, prepared, etc.
All right. Well, I wrote that down on my list of things to work on. That seems like that wouldn't be good.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks, Craig.
Yeah, welcome. And they'll have this. We'll have some show notes up afterwards with some details, and I'll also have a reference to that CFBS project where it's all living.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No. Okay. Stop the recording. Thanks for hanging out.
Not a wrap. Thanks for coming. If you're in Ghent for Config Management Camp, come see me and get a t-shirt.
That's right.